Hi friends, today's video is all about a simple but very satisfying project. Along with prep work, I cover 5 main reasons why I'm creating my own swatching catalogue for all my oil and soft pastels, previous watercolor swatches, oil paints, and putting it together into a binder. It's a DIY project that combines color, order, and a bit of slow joy. Perfect with a cup of tea and some music. First step is preparing the sheets. A self-healing cutting mat is very useful throughout this process. I'm using an A3 size 300 GSM paper since I've run out of A4s. Using a cutter, I create a dent in the middle to create a foldable sheet of A4 size, which will be the primary size of my swatching sheets. I repeat the process with a few more of the original A3 sheets. Next, I take some A3 size tracing paper and do the same. You can use glassine or butter paper too. I ensure to make enough so that each swatching sheet is eventually protected on the outside as well as inside panels to avoid color transfer. Using a punch, I make 2 holes through each set of papers and put aside the tracing paper thereafter. Next, for the swatching process, I use washi tape to create neat little boxes. I treat this project with a more archival approach and something that is functional and beautiful to refer back to at any point later. Now, swatching colors is something most of us do at some point, especially when we get a new set of colors. With this video, I will share my top 5 reasons of why swatching is so much more than just seeing what a hue looks like on paper. First, color harmony and planning. I use a swatching exercise to rearrange some of the hues as I see them in groups of 4. For example, I grouped the fawn and terracotta hues in this series of oil pastels, not with the yellow oranges, but more with pinkish brown hues. Also, for each set of 4, I try and swatch the lightest value first. Seeing your swatches grouped by tone, hue, or temperature helps you plan harmonious color palettes. It's much easier to visualize complementary or analogous hues this way, especially if you're working on a series. Second reason, it's a confidence booster. Having a visual record of the medium you own can be motivating. You start to notice the range you've built and feel more confident to experiment. It gives a sense of control over what can often be chaotic or an overwhelming stash of supplies. I did reuse the same tapes on most of the other sheets too, while being careful on not getting color onto the sheets from the tapes. It's not just about staying organized. It's about how much one learns through this basic process and also builds confidence. When I see the full range of materials I already have and know their unique properties, I feel more intentional. I'm more likely to try new combinations or rediscover a hue I'd forgotten about. Also, it reduces my decision time when actually painting. In the background, I repeat the swatching of my oil pastels for the other brand sets that I own too. Number 3. Documentation for reordering and mindful use of supplies. Seeing the full spread of what you own prevents duplicates, helps reorder mindfully, and inspires you to use neglected colors more intentionally. With oil pastels done, I pull out the small swatch cards I had created around a year back for my watercolors, including some mixing ratios for new hues. I stick them onto an A4 drawing sheet and get them ready to be filed. Next, the soft pastel set. This was a challenging one, since the sticks don't come wrapped individually with name of hue. Using the cutting mat and a compass, I create 24 circles to swatch the soft pastels into. Just a different shape from the squares for this medium. Challenge here was to match the references printed on the pack with the actual soft pastel sticks. Some of the hues were difficult to tell, but finally, having mapped the hues, I also rearranged them in an order I thought best. Each brand, type of pastel with a softer oil, or even hues within a set behave differently. Swatching helps you feel the drag, creaminess, tinting strength, or even dust level of, say, a soft pastel on your preferred surface. You'll notice which pastels are opaque, which have more binder, or which layer better. Number 4. Hue comparison across brands. When you catalog across brands in the same medium, you can easily compare how, say, a yellow ochre varies between brands, where the one offers a light hue and the other a darker shade. Again, very useful when you're considering restocking or replacing a shade too. And sometimes with all the brands housed under one portfolio, you may have enough range of hues already. I created these oil paint swatches on canvas sheets as a recent addition and included important factors like brand, hues, opacity, pigment names, series, and some more. Number 5. Consolidated visual reference of all your medium. Having a neatly organized swatch portfolio with details of hue or pigment, brand, and other elements allows you to see all your colors at a glance. This helps in faster, more intuitive color selection during a painting or art session. No need to worry about hue labels peeling off or what a color might look on paper. I dabble in multiple mediums, and for me, this is especially a useful exercise to consolidate all my color references in just one place. Friends, this process itself is almost like keeping a color diary, a creative time capsule that will evolve over time, just like your work. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done something like this, or if you're tempted to start your own swatching binder. I'd highly recommend it. It's one of those slow, grounding projects that makes a big difference in the long run. And if you found this video relaxing or helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More videos on oil paints and pastels coming up soon. Thanks for watching and happy swatching!